So we can shit on them, but shorty generous. She wanna pack her little friends inside the 4-door. Looking at the ass, cause you the shit, but shorty in her own class on her. She know how I'm coming by her. In the height of slavery, I probably slapped the shit out of one of them little they ever tried to play with her. Probably lose my life, but shit, I proudly take their love. Simply cause I live for you. I love you like one of my kind, let it cake. You know I care for you. Think I'm funny, anything to put a smile on you, shorty. Shorty such a queen, she got me singing Elvis like the king. I can't help falling in love with something like that. What's going on, y'all? First off, what's going on to the Tool Army? I appreciate you guys for showing up and being so supportive over the last...
Better out than in, I always say.
Showing up and being so supportive of my first time listening to Tool. As y'all know, the only song I heard so far was Numa. I did that, and then I did the drum cam version. But I saw how crazy you guys went for that. And something that I saw get recommended a lot over and over again is a song called Sober. So I'm going to be checking that out for the very first time today. Y'all know how I do this. Y'all know I'm going to just sit here, break it down, see what I take away from it. But from what I see a lot in the comments, they talk a lot about spirituality and just being more self-aware as a person. So I'm excited to see what this focuses on, as opposed to the other song that I've heard so far. As always, this along with everything else will be out very, very early on our Patreon. So scan this QR code to stay in tune. Y'all know we started a second channel where we've been doing movies and TV shows. We've been watching the new Ed Gein series on Netflix. We just watched Weapons, The Wall. All of those things are out full and unedited on Patreon as well. So make sure you go check that out. But I'm not going to talk too much. We're going to get right into it. I hope the Tool Army show up. Make sure y'all comment down below and let me know if y'all here. So let's get right into it.
just a worthless liar. I am just an imbecile. I will only complicate you. Trust in me and fall as well. I will find a center in you. I will chew it up and leave. Trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. Why can't we not be sober? Just want to start things over. Why can't we sleep forever? I just want to start this over.
Woo! Oh man. Oh man, they killed that shit. Let's get right into it. So that to me was a very, very, very layered song. And I thought it was super dope. So I'm trying to figure out where the hell I want to start from. Fuck, let me pull the lyrics back up. Damn. Let me just try to go off vert. What I love about it really is I love that it really seems to be talking about the experience of what it's like to be an addict, to try to work on being a better person, to try to focus on being more self-aware, being more intentional about the way that you carry yourself and trying to step away from any toxic behavior that you have. But also the juxtaposition to that is just because you're trying to be better doesn't mean that the addiction and the trauma, all of the pain, all of those things will let you go away so easy. I like that the way that they write their lyrics are always so animated. And what I mean by that is they personify their words. They give them life. They give them a way that you can see them beyond just listening to a song. I like the fact that it's talking from the perspective of somebody that's sober, somebody that's trying to get their life together, but it also uses those buzzwords where it talks about how your addiction is right there behind you, like your shadow is standing right there, waiting, just like a butler, waiting on you to slip up, waiting on you to have those moments of having those moments where you have a lapse of judgment, where you question your ability to be able to continue on this new positive path when you're so used to that. That's what you're familiar with. Everybody's familiar with trauma. You're comfortable with pain. That's a comfort zone. Everybody's used to whatever you did to try to numb all of the stuff that you've been through in life. And I love the way that they wrote that because it's so true. Whatever it is that you're trying to leave alone, whether it be whatever your vice is, it could be cigarettes, alcohol, drugs, pornography, whatever it may be. I like the fact that it really explains what that experience is like. Yes, you want to be better. Yes, you're trying your damnedest to be better. But you also, something that you always learn when you're trying to let go of a vice is never think you can outsmart it. Never think you're stronger than it. Well, yes, you should believe you're stronger than your vice. But what I mean is never think that you've knocked it down for the count and you're above that. Never think that you can't relapse, you can't fall back into old habits, and you can't continue to fall into that cycle of everything that takes you on that toxic rat wheel that we always end up and find ourselves on. I love the fact that that goes along with really talking about what is, let me see, man, because this shit, hold on. I also like the fact that it's using that way of saying that your vices have a way of vilifying you and making you seem like you're too weak to be able to survive without it. I really like the way that it says, pointing every finger at me. I love the fact that it says that, because it's really just like, when you're trying to step away from a vice, you're trying to allow your brain to rewire and be able to enjoy life without being under the influence of whatever that vice may be. But you got to understand that old habits die very fucking hard. It might be a cliche, but I always say cliches are the most true phrases. That's why people get sick of hearing it, because they know that when you try to let go of something, you're realizing that you're trying to learn how to enjoy life and the experiences of it without that thing. And your demons, the devil, whatever it is you believe in, they're going to try you. They're going to test your faith. They're going to make you see the darkest parts of yourself. And it forces you to have to confront your trauma. It forces you to have to be able to confront your flaws and try to understand that you have to be willing to accept every part of yourself and be able to live with it if you want to coexist with the pain without being dependent on something to help you numb it enough to live your life through it. I also like the fact that it references the fact that, you know, in the Bible, it always says God and Jesus, they speak to you in whispers. The devil is loud. I always talk about the fact that people talk about being blessed, but the devil can bless you too. He blesses you with blissful ignorance. When you getting high, or when you watching porn, or when you drinking, when you going out and partying, when you having random sex with strangers, those things give you a brief window where you're able to step away from whatever you deal with on a mental level, whatever trauma you're holding in internally. It gives you that brief window to be able to have a moment of bliss, a moment of peace. And they always say after you experience that the first time, you're chasing that high. And that's where habits get formed, because you're constantly chasing that blissful moment. You're constantly chasing peace of mind. But you never really learn how to have it on your own merit without relying on an external factor. You know what I'm saying? And they say the devil yells. He tempts you. He gives you everything. He plays on your insecurities. He plays on your trauma. And God talks to you in whispers. You have to be able to filter out the other voices to be able to hear God's voice. But I like the way that it's talking to God and yelling at him and letting him know, like, life is hard. I'm being tested. I'm being challenged. And sometimes I don't know if I'm strong enough to be able to remain in this state of life. I don't know if I can face it all by myself. So it's saying, Jesus, won't you whistle? Won't you talk about something but the past and done? Sometimes we misconstrue those voices and we think the devil judging us is us being condemned by God, because if God truly loved us, why would he put all of this pain on me? Why can't you heal me and make it okay? Why can't you make it all go away the way that you promised? So it's like confronting God and saying, why don't you talk about something that's more important than the things that I've already done, the things that I'm ashamed of, the things that are keeping me in this constant cycle? Yell just as loud as the devil is, so I can be able to hear and decipher what it is you're trying to teach me. Because I don't know if I'm strong enough to be able to fight this battle on my own. Then I love this part. I love that it talks from the perspective of the vice. That shit, that's dope. I love that it talks about not how it plays on your insecurities, but the things that the vice and the demons are saying in your head, the things that is reinforcing and the things that is making you say out of your mouth. I'm just a worthless liar. I'm an imbecile. I will only complicate you. Trust in me and fall as well. That is so fucking true. Vices are exactly what they are for a reason. Yes, they give you that moment of bliss. They give you that moment and that brief experience of peace, so you're constantly chasing that high. But this is the devil letting you know that it's the devil. This is your demons and your vices coinciding to let you know that they're working together against you. I'm a liar. It's making you feel like I'm nothing more than a worthless liar. I'm nothing more than an imbecile. And then it swings it to say, I will only complicate your life. Trust in me and fall as well. I will find a sinner in you. I will chew it up and leave. I will work to elevate you just enough to bring you down. Get the fuck out of here. The way that they wrote this song is just, it's chef's kiss in itself. The fact that it's letting you know, yeah, I'm going to plant that seed and make you feel like you need me to survive. I'm going to plant my flag. I'm going to help you feel that bliss just for you to fall flat and need me over and over again, because that dependency on any kind of substance or any kind of vice is dangerous, because when it gets to a point where you don't know if you can survive or make it through the day without it, people get antsy. They start to question if they can live without it. And once it has you in a hook, and once it has its nails and teeth sunk into you, yeah, I'll build you up and make you feel good, but I'm turning you into an addict. And nobody trusts an addict. In real life, being an addict from the outside looking in, it's a dangerous person to be around. That's somebody that you can't trust. That's somebody that people don't feel comfortable being with, having conversation with. That's something that you, and because of your vices and your habits, it makes it hard for you to be loved. And it reinforces those ideas of making you feel as though I'll never be more than what I am without this. I'll never be more than just a weakling who can't survive without this vice. I just love the fact that it's going back and forth and letting you know the struggle and the tug of war battle that goes between trying to find a spiritual sense of self, trying to be better, trying to be able to rely on your own merit and be a better person off of your own strength instead of relying. But it also talks about that tug and the fact that it won't let you go so easy. I just love the fact that this song really just gives that back and forth experience of what it's like to be an addict, what it's like to go through those cycles of trying to heal, and why people relapse. It shows the mental turmoil that it puts you through. It shows the effort of trying to confront your demons and feeling weak in those moments. I love the vulnerability of this song because it's something that everybody can relate to. Some vices and some people's addictions might be a little bit more extensive than others, but everybody has a vice. Everybody has their own fair share of trauma that they're trying to find themselves through, that they're trying to be okay and learn to live with. But I think people's biggest problem is sometimes we don't know, and we're all guilty of it. Everybody grows at different paces, but everybody's fearful that I'm not strong enough. That's everybody's fear. And nobody wants to be seen as weak. Nobody wants to be seen vulnerable, because one thing life has shown us is the world and favor, what is it? What's that phrase? Fortune favors the bold. When you feel like you're weak and you're not able to be bold enough to stand up against your shit and go out there and conquer the world, you're scared to show that because nobody wants to be viewed as the weakling in any equation. I think this was a dope ass song, and it was a real deep experience. You just have to be willing to listen to songs like this and be immersed in it to really understand everything that they're trying to say. But comment down below. Let me know y'all thoughts on the song. Let me know if y'all agree with my takes on it, and share any takes that you have. Let me know some more recommendations that you have of Tool songs. And if you want me to check out more Tool songs, get this video to at least 500 likes so I know that it's worth it. And let me know what this song takes you back to. Give me some of your testimonies. I would love to hear some of the breakthroughs that you guys have had with your vices. What have you made it past? What have you survived? I want to see survival testimonies all throughout the comments, and I promise I'm showing love to them. So I look forward to reading those. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your post notification bell so you stay in tune every time I drop another banger like this one. And as always, I'll put the QR code to our Patreon right here. Shout out to all of our beautiful patrons. I don't need to keep repeating, but everything that I said in the beginning of this video, our second channel, everything that we have on the queue with this channel will always be up early, unedited, and in full. If things get blocked, it'll be up there exclusively, on top of bonus exclusives and any other content that we want to bless our patrons with. It's because of you guys and our patrons that we're able to continue to develop and make more quality content, be able to focus more on talking to you guys and having these mental health conversations, because I think for a lot of you guys, this is the only time you get to really hear somebody talk about being vulnerable and you be able to share it back. But I like to build that family community where people feel comfortable to talk about not just their strengths, but be able to embrace their weaknesses. I think that's important. So if that interests you, we have some brand new tiers. Make sure you go check it out. The support is always very much so appreciated. And something new I see going is, we love the fact that you guys like, subscribe, and comment to get us pushed into the algorithm. But make sure you hype this video. If you got points left in your hype buttons, make sure you hype this video so we can continue to get pushed in the algorithm and build a bigger community to be able to have these conversations with. It's so appreciated in advance, and I look forward to seeing more. I look forward to hearing more of their music and being able to see more things that we can talk about and break down. So yeah, that's all I got. Until the next time, I go by the name of Five. Peace.
How does